Hey everybody, you're watching We the Fandom, where we discuss comic books, pop culture, and the fandom experience. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more content. How's it going everybody? Jacob here at We the Fandom. I've been watching the Boys series since the beginning, and while I'm not against the heroes are probably dirtbags trope that's become so common in recent years, this season of The Boys is equivalent to season 8 of Game of Thrones. They're all over the place with the plot. I generally understand what's happening, but they don't give enough attention to any one plot thread in my opinion. They were generally faithful to the source material in the first season, but then they started going off on their own, making changes that were unnecessary for adapting the story, but seemed to have taken place simply to make political statements or to reference the modern political environment in real life. Speaking of politics, they're dropping political references every few minutes, and to be fair, they do make fun of multiple sides. For instance, they make fun of the Captain America patriotic type hero as Soldier Boy being a misogynistic dick, which is pretty much what I expected. From the get-go, The Boys was very open about its premise that in the real world, heroes wouldn't just be as selfish and cowardly as the average person, but could easily fall into the amoral and depraved category. Heroes on the outside, but behind the illusion, occasionally sociopathic or outright evil. This follows the premise in the comics, so I took no issue with that. The show also makes fun of other topics such as gun culture in America, celebrities trying to rebrand by making cultural statements. They even poke fun at Zack Snyder in the Snyder Cut of Justice League. And at first, I thought, oh, well, at least they're making fun of everybody, just like South Park, right? But it's not. They're making political commentary without the commentary. It's just like, hey, see this modern political thing we're making fun of? And then, hey, aren't we edgy by making fun of this thing? I'm not going to comment on every political and pop culture take they made. There are just too many of them. In regards to how I mentioned South Park, that show is well known for talking about modern events to include politics. But South Park actually puts an effort into making a coherent commentary. When The Boys does it, it's like they're just giving themselves an applause for saying the right thing and making fun of the groups that it's safe to make fun of because the mainstream has already dragged them through the mud. After the first couple of times in each episode, it just becomes lazy and boring, as if it just exists to pad the runtime. Now, I've read the Boys comic, and I'm sure if I had read it at the time that it came out, I would have recognized some references to at the time modern politics. The story itself was meant to show the audience what heroes would probably be like in a more realistic world. Gone are the days when we can have stories where a good hero is just good. And I don't mean one-dimensional, but a hero that's not given into the nihilistic idea that we'll all turn bad in the end because we have bad as well as good in us. Or the less controversial idea that anti-heroism and morally questionable actions should be praised as tried and true heroism because that's just the best we're going to get. The Boys was from day one always one of the first edgy superhero stories where all the heroes have questionable natures. And yet, it still had a story with redeemable characters, and it doesn't depend on the low-hanging fruit of incoherent Twitter opinions turned into scenes on a television show. Probably the most disappointing change is the identity of Black Noir. Huge spoiler for those who have read the comics and know what could have happened, or those who haven't read the comics. In the comics, Black Noir is revealed to be the psychotic clone of Homelander who was behind some of Homelander's more evil actions. In the show, Black Noir is actually the brother of the current CEO of Vought American, I forget his name, and he's also a black guy. Now, I'm not sure if that's meant to be a comment on racism and superhero names or just lazy writing. The only way that they could redeem Black Noir is if they reveal that the original guy died and that they replaced him with a Homelander clone. Because in the third episode of season 3 of The Boys, it was shown that the original Black Noir was gravely injured in the episode that he appeared in. But with all that they have changed with the show so far, I don't see that happening. The reveal in the comics that Black Noir was the evil clone of Homelander was huge, because yes, the story still admits that Homelander was a sociopathic dick, but this twist revealed that in this fucked up world, there was someone even worse than him. When I started watching this series, I was not under the impression that this would be the normal superhero fare. Like I said, I'd read The Boys. I knew the craziness that I was getting into. But the show made so many changes that, as I mentioned before, seemed to exist for purely political reasons, a trope which they actually made fun of on the show multiple times, so they're self-aware at least. But these changes to the characters and hyper-emphasizing modern politics all seems to be in service to make the show edgier than the comic, which is possible. But when you turn the edginess up to 100, you just come out looking silly. I know some people will say that my taste is trash because I don't find as much enjoyment in more quote-unquote mature and realistic depictions of heroes, but as I've mentioned, I enjoyed the comic. It's the show that I have a problem with. I don't think I'm going to review the rest of the Boys series. I might still watch, but The Boys has fallen into the pile of comic book depictions that stray too far from the source material. Tell me what you guys think about it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button, as well as subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. I'll see you all next time. Bye.